Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for another video. Today we're talking about Last of Us Episode 5, which I cannot actually find an episode title for. Even looking it up says just Episode 5, but also seen Feel Her Love and Once Upon a Time, so who's to fucking tell? But anyways, jumping into Episode 5, we are of course following the continuation of Ellie and Dina's adventures through Seattle to track down Abby and her group, when in the last episode they got the reveal over their radio that they had picked up from that dead soldier that they know where Nora is. Nora is one of the characters that was there for Joel's death, and she's officially the first target on Ellie's list. And so we're jumping into that now, having to have Dina and Ellie make their way across Seattle, because we see that they have to make their way across a very large portion of the city to make it to where they are stationed up at a hospital and everything. So we got that going on. And, the episode itself was not a terrible episode. I mean, none of these episodes have been that great. Season 2 is unfortunately adapting a game that was very controversial and a lot of people hated it. I myself have never played it through more than one time because the story was just so out there and just so kind of troubling in a sense, where you were brought back to these characters after such a long time, 7 years taking to get this game, and everything that surrounded the release of the game, with all the leaks that come out and people finding out about what happens in the game. And then when the game actually came out, people played it, it had its mixed reviews and everything, but the story itself, the story that is that game, it's never set right with a lot of people. And me myself, like I mentioned, I've only played it once, and that was enough. It was just one of those things where I don't feel the need to revisit it. And that's kind of the same vibe I'm getting for the second season. It's been okay. The writing's been okay, but will I revisit it and watch it later? Probably not, honestly, because it's just not making an impression on me the way that the first game did. I love the crap out of that first game. I've played that first game through easily a dozen and a half times, if not more, because it's a compelling story. You really fall in love with the characters and everything, and you fall in love with the world and just all that about it. But going into the second season, they really definitely lost something with this story. I mean, it was unavoidable because it was the story of the source material and whatnot, so we had to say goodbye to Pedro Pascal, even though he is going to be back for the next episode for flashbacks, so people were kind of confused about that. I don't know why they were confused, but it's clearly just pointing out to people that have played the game and the ones that have not. But this is all flashbacks, kind of giving a glimpse of what happened in that 5-year time jump and what led to Ellie and Joel's relationship to fall apart. But going into, I mean, we're back in this continuation of their revenge mission, and they are setting up their base camp there at that theater. Dina is triangulating the position of all these soldiers because they're just openly broadcasting wherever they are. So apparently they're not afraid to let people that might be around or let the Scars know, because the Scars are kind of this group that don't really rely on technology, it seems. And so they're just willy-nilly just putting their locations and their coordinates and everything out there for the whole world to hear, or just anyone that might hear. And so Dina's mapping it out. Where are these patrols at and everything, and just kind of triangulating a basic area that all of them are going to be located at, and where they can kind of make their way through, kind of charting out their path, what to avoid and what's okay. And we're really getting a kind of in-depth look into Dina and how her mind works, and just the sarcasm that's behind everything she says almost. We see that she is a caring person, but there is a lot of sarcasm and just joking kind of attitude behind what she says. But we do get the reveal of why that is, and why she is kind of standoffish in a sense, where she didn't really come out and want to be as close as she is to Ellie now when they first met and everything. And just surrounding kind of the mystery that is her past, we get that reveal that she at one point had a sister and a mom who were killed by a raider because she had snuck out after her mother told her repeatedly not to go outside and play, because she was a kid, of course, when everything was happening, and just being in this world where you had to play it safe every day. You were day by day. And she took a chance, went outside, and it cost her mom and her sister her life, and that was the first person she killed. So we got a little bit more backstory about Dina that I don't think we ever got in the game, that I can recall anyways. But, progressing on from there, it's just them making their way and charting out their path, and they make their way to this warehouse that we saw in the trailer, where at one point they get surrounded by stalkers, and they don't know what to do. And of course, and it seems like at this point, Ellie is getting bit in every freaking episode, where they are doing okay for a second, and then Ellie gets swarmed while Dina has put herself in this cage that's being torn into, and then Ellie just is swarmed by like 3 or 4 of these stalkers, but they all get their ass saved by Jesse, who pops up, not really in the same fashion that he does in the game, but kind of in the same way. But he pops up, saves them and everything, gets them out of that situation. But of course, it alerts the nearby wolf soldiers. They begin to hunt them down. They run into a park, and it's at this point we see the wolf soldiers back off because they're not going to go into this park because it's apparently and obviously a part of the Scar territory where they've realized that they can't go in there because they probably won't come out. And of course, Ellie, Dina, and Jesse all come across Scars. They get attacked. Dina takes an arrow to the leg. Jesse takes her and vacates the area while Ellie makes her way into a hiding spot, finds her way out, and then she realizes she is in the general area of the hospital. And she makes her way to the hospital and encounters a soldier and his dog, but she does sneak off and make her way into the building. And of course, we get that confrontation or that interaction or what have you of Ellie and Nora, who really Nora just antagonizes the crap out of Ellie. Like she is really kind of leading her on, where she kind of goes into the story about you know what he did and everything kind of surrounding the events of what happened at the Salt Lake Hospital, and then just immediately pisses Ellie off when she calls him a little bitch, and it just proceeds from there. And we get that segment that we got from the game where we have to chase Nora through the hospital, and they wind up in the basement that is overgrown with spores and infected and whatnot. And this was a part of the beginning of the episode where we have a soldier. This is them first discovering spores. Spores have not been a thing until now. And then this soldier is explaining to her commanding officer, who we saw in the last episode in the time jump backwards, where she is a commanding officer and she's wondering, what happened? Why'd you kill these soldiers? Well, they wandered into the basement. It was full of spores, and the soldiers sacrificed themselves, saying, seal us in. Don't let anybody else come down here. So we jump back to Ellie and Nora having it out, and this is a part from the game, actually. It was actually pretty well done, in my opinion. And seeing Bella Ramsey go into kind of this dark mode of Ellie that we saw in the game, where she begins to beat Nora with a lead pipe. And it was pretty exciting, and seeing how that was playing out, and Nora realizing that she is, in fact, the immune child from the hospital, and just realizing that she's dead, but Ellie's going to live on to go after Abby. So Ellie is torturing Nora for this information, because the whole point, of course, is to go after Abby and anyone else that had anything to do with it.
I'm gonna find, and I'm gonna kill every last one of them.
And then as it closes out, we jump back to when Ellie's still living with Joel, and of course Joel's still alive. And this is going to be the episodes, the last couple, I think, where they're going to have that time frame where Joel and Ellie, this is where their relationship begins to fall apart, because Ellie discovers that he lied about what happened in Salt Lake. And so we get this little time jump episode where we're going to have flashbacks with Pedro Pascal back in the part of Joel. And so it should be fun to see how the relationship kind of gets stronger, but then immediately kind of takes a hard left turn and everything kind of falls apart. And I honestly think the last episode will be a cliffhanger, obviously. And so it should be interesting, but kind of playing out how I kind of predicted, where we've got these first string of episodes, or this season, I guess, where it's all from Ellie's point of view. Next season, I believe, will be almost 100% from Abby's point of view, just like the game, where you switch back and forth playing between these characters. And so on top of that, with news about season 3, we're going to be waiting a while. There was an announcement, I guess the actress who played Dina, I want to say her name is Isabel, who said that they aren't even going to begin filming season 3 until next year. So we won't get season 3 probably till 2027. And I just gotta say, it's really annoying that this day and age, we have such long breaks in between seasons. being someone that grew up in the 90s and everything, where you had a new season every single year of 20 plus episodes, I realized that that's not really realistic, and it does overwork people a lot. So that's not a formula or anything that they really go with anymore. So I mean, they should. I understand people get busy too, and the actors are being demanded elsewhere because, of course, Pedro is now a part of the Marvel universe, and he's got his Fantastic Four movie coming out, and he's going to be filming the Avengers Doomsday movie, and so we have a lot going on with those actors. They are busy, and of course, Pedro's not going to play a part in the next season, or if he does, it's going to be more flashbacks or something. But it just really sucks that we're going to be waiting what looks like another couple of years for this next season, if people even stick with it, that is. I mean, because you got people that are just nonstop bitching about this show, where they stick out as the people that didn't play the game, or they simply just didn't pay attention while they were playing the game, and they just want to hate on the story and everything. Yes, it's not perfect by any means. I mean, this is another instance. When this season's over, I will never revisit it ever again, like 99% sure. But anyways, that's just my breakdown, my review, my thoughts about this last episode and what's left of the season, and just that little bit of news about season 3. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed my thoughts, please leave your likes, your comments, and of course, consider subscribing. Come back to the channel for more content just like this. I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.